Okay, Sasikala, so we've got more essays from you. Great. Let's get straight to it, shall we? So this is one about marriage and birth in your 30s. Let's see what you said. Experts throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether late family settlements, instead of being married in a young age, have more benefits or merely drawbacks to the community. Let's change this a little bit, okay? We don't call them late family settlements. Wrong expression. And we don't say being married, we say getting married. And the other issue is it's not just getting married, but it's also having children, okay? Because remember, there are two parts to the essay, getting married and having children in your 30s. So let's try it again, okay? Experts throughout both the developed and developing world have debated whether getting married and having children later instead of doing so at a young age has more benefits or merely drawbacks to the community. Some people believe that adulthood provides greater advantages such as economic development, individual and population growth. Okay, the question is not about adulthood. It's about doing these particular stations of life and going through these particular crossroads in one's life, whether that is better. So not just adulthood by itself, okay? Adulthood essentially is when one becomes legally an adult. So this is the wrong word here. I understand that you're trying to provide synonyms, but this is not the way you want to do it because this particular word carries a different meaning than what the task has asked you to discuss. Okay, this essay will argue that fact. Let's see, what do you agree with? Some people believe that adulthood provides greater advantages such as economic development, individual and population growth. All right, again, so you don't mean this. You mean that, you don't mean adulthood, but you mean that undergoing and participating in these life events, okay, in your later life after 30 is better. So you have to make this much more clear. So this essay will argue that fact using examples from WHO and hypothetical explanations by researchers to demonstrate points, prove arguments. Okay. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that supports the idea of middle-age marriage seriously, economically stability, mentally consistency, and reducing population growth. Okay, grammatically this is really off, so let's fix it. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that supports the idea of marriage after 30 due to the economic stability and mental consistency. No, you can't really say this. You can't really say this either. Let's try it one more time, shall we? On the one hand, there is ample evidence that supports the idea of marriage and childbirth. Don't forget, there are two elements to this question. After 30, for a variety of reasons. Okay? Proponents cite that people over 30 have economic stability, mental consistency, and that this trend can reduce population growth. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, generally people in their THEIR 30s play a vital role in developing the country's '(S) economy by being efficient employees S, and also individually becoming financially stable. No, you can't just say that and not back it up. You have to support it. You have to tell me why they play a vital role. If it's vital, you have to explain to me why it's vital, how it's vital. You can't just leave it like that. And then, secondly, people maturing with life experiences to tackle challenge. No, that's not a sentence. It's just a fragment. So, secondly, people mature with life experiences and are therefore able to tackle challenges in the rest of their future. That's okay. For example, if people have a better life, they would prefer to be a responsible... No, that doesn't fit anywhere here. Get rid of this sentence entirely. Remember, you have to bring it back to the idea of getting married and having children in your 30s. So, people mature with life experiences, and so they're able to tackle challenges in their future. For example, it has been shown that people who have children in their 30s are more able to problem solve effectively than people who have children in their 20s. All right, that would be a relevant example. It must not be forgotten that, no comma, increased population is a considerable fact that, what? No, get rid of this, just entirely. Youngers is not a word, may have lack of knowledge about pregnancy, and it is a significant burden for them and also to the country. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that, no comma, there is tremendous, but no, this whole thing is wrong. Just get rid of it. It doesn't help you. It just creates confusion. The grammar, the vocabulary is wrong. It doesn't belong there. On the other hand, although there is a case for who is talking about I'm sorry. When you use this kind of linker, it has to somehow refer back to the previous paragraph, okay, and say essentially that, yeah, even though we talked about this in the previous paragraph, I'm going to say in the following paragraph 2 things about this. Okay, that's how we use this linking device. You can't use it like this. You never in any place talked about non-communicable diseases, subfertility, or infertility. So this is totally irrelevant. All right, so you have to rephrase everything. This is largely because hormone changes, stressful mindsets, and some degenerative mechanisms in the body. That's not a sentence. You want to say this is because there are hormone changes, stressful mindsets, and some degenerative mechanisms in the body. That's a sentence. For example, recent empirical research by the World Health Organization showed that 6 out of 10 neonates have birth deformities that belong to older couples, not old age. Old age is like after 70. Consistent with this line of thinking is that, no comma, it should be taken into account that late marriage couples are at risk of the prosperity of life. That's a wrong expression. Get rid of it. Change it with something else that is more natural in English. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that potential risks of these consequences considerably weaken, no ing, the effectiveness of middle-aged families. Okay? From the arguments and examples, I firmly believe maturity provides success to members of the community. Nevertheless, technological advances regarding health issues should be optimized by the government and local policies to prevent avoidable problems that come with early middle age. Okay, I'm going to argue that 30s are not early middle age, but okay. Therefore, the pros of marriage and childbirth in people's 30s has played a pivotal role in shaping the society. No, that's the pros of marriage in 30s playing a pivotal role in shaping society has more. This is just off. It's just off. Therefore, there are more pros of marriage in people's 30s in shaping society than cons. That works, okay? So we really spent a lot of time on this essay. I don't want to spend any more. I want to go straight to your task 1. The graph, okay, get rid of the commas. The graph shows the average rainfall in 3 different countries, England, Scotland, and Wales, over a 12-month period here, in January to December 2018, in millimeters S. In January, England and Scotland represented rain of approximately 110 millimeters, whereas Wales was just under 50 millimeters. Scotland had the lowest amount of rain in February, and in the subsequent month it sharply rose to the highest rate of rain. You want to tell me what that number is? Please do. While England fluctuated at an average around 100 Why? No, you can't use while like this. If you're going to use while like this, you have to have two clauses. You have to have a subordinate clause and a main clause. You can't just have a subordinate clause on its own. And that's what you have when you only use while. So let's try it differently. Let's connect these two sentences together. While England fluctuated on average around 100 ml in the whole year, comma, Wales continuously maintained between 50 and 100 ml, except for May, July, and November. All right, that works a little better. The country and month for the largest amount of rainfall was March for Scotland at 135, followed by July for Wales and December for England with 130 ml and 125 ml respectively. Okay. In February, the amount of rain in England was almost 5 times that of Scotland. In July, for each country represented, practically similar amounts of rain. No, grammatically this is wrong. It's just wrong. You have to fix it. In January and December, both England and Scotland indicated over 100 ml rainfalls, whereas Wales figured nearly 50. Overall, except for a slight plateau for Wales in August to October, the graph figured no, it didn't figure. The graph displayed considerable fluctuation all over the year for each country. Okay, that's a little too vague as far as I'm concerned. If you notice, England had the least fluctuation of the 3 areas. The other 2 areas, okay, yeah, it's true. They fluctuated quite a bit. So what I would have said here is that overall, all 3 areas of the United Kingdom fluctuated considerably, with England maintaining a more steady rainfall than the other 2 areas. That would be appropriate for me, okay? So you can see that there were really a lot of errors here. There are a lot of things that I disagree with. There are a lot of things that I think need to be corrected. So go ahead and do that. Send them back to corrected, add to your error correction list, and get us new essays. Good luck, and I'll be waiting to see what you write next.